First impression error. Lahat naman tayo familiar sa term na first impression, di ba? Example nito, first impression error is yung you are supposed to be interviewed at exactly 10 a.m. But then, due to unfortunate events, dumating ka ng 10 minutes late. This action already gives the interviewer an idea or decision or magkakaroon sila ng doubt sa'yo dahil na rin sa action na pinakita during or before the interview. Next error is the contrast error, in which the expectations of the interviewer is based on the impression they get from the previous applicants. Next, similarity error. This is when the interviewee and the interviewer have similarities in one way or another, like both of them is graduated from the same university or they have the same hometown. Next is non-relevancy. The interviewer is influenced by the information na non-job related, like way of speaking or yung appearance ng isang applicants. And lastly, the error that is common in the interview situations is that the lack of knowledge of the interviewer about the job, which mostly results for the interviewer to base its assessment or decisions on the ability to perform the job, on incomplete and or inaccurate assessment of the nature of the job. Hindi talaga maiiwasan yung ganito mga errors sa mga interviews, pero may mga ways din naman para ma-minimize yung mga errors sa interviews. Like proper training for the interviewers and for the candidates or applicants to know the do's and don'ts when it comes to the interview or in applying a job. Other selection technique, aside from submitting resume and interviews, meron pang other way of selection or selecting employees. First is the reference and recommendations. In some cases of selection process, applicants were asked to provide letter of recommendations from the previous employment or previous na mga amo nila. Yung letter ng recommendations, yung magiging basis ng organizations para i-assess yung past work or history ng applicant. Mostly dapat yung content ng recommendation letter is positive para mas makuha mo yung attention ng interviewer. Pero dapat yung letter mo is dumaan sa fair process, like walang bias sa paggawa, kasi once nakita ng organization na pinag-applyan mo na magkaiba yung pinapakita mo sa nakalagay sa letter, there's a chance that you or the one who wrote the letter will face legal consequences. Another selection technique is the assessment center. It is an approach of selecting managers based on measuring and evaluating their ability to perform critical work. Mostly sa mga nagpa-participate ng assessment is yung mga managers na looking forward ma-promote or yung mga graduating students na nagtitake ng OJT sa particular firm, then yung firm na pinag-OJT-han nila is gusto silang kunin sa firm. Normally, this assessment center will last for about 2 to 3 days and 10 to 5 candidates ang pwedeng pumasok sa assessment center.
So, ang selection decision is the last step in the hiring process kung saan pipiliin ng isang organization kung sino ang i-hire. Minsan, madali ang decision, like pipili lang yung highest rank candidate na qualified for that position. Pero minsan, mas complicated. Lalo na kung madami yung tao ang kailangan sa isang kumpanya. Kasi need nila mag-set ng cut-off line. Halimbawa, kung sa isang tao lang ang kailangan ng isang kumpanya, kukunin nila yung may pinakamagandang overall performance or qualified doon sa sinasabing trabaho. Pero kung 50 employees naman yung kailangan ng isang company, magsaset sila ng interviews at lahat ng papasa doon ay yun yung matatanggap. Sa multiple indicators, walang single test or methods na perfect dito para i-judge ang isang candidate. Kaya gumagamit ang mga companies ng iba't ibang selection tools para mas makuha yung full picture ng applicant. Pwedeng kasama dito ang screening interviews, background checks, employment tests tulad ng skills test and simulation, at personality assessment. Halimbawa dito is yung airline ay nag-hire ng mga pilots. Gagamit sila ng mga written exam, flight simulation, medical test at interviews. At kung makapasa man ang employee sa lahat ng test na yun, may possibility na matatanggap siya doon sa trabaho na yun. And in short, itong gamit ng multiple indicators, mas nagiging fair at accurate yung selection of process nila sa pagkuha ng mga applicants. Selection error, it happens kapag mali ang naging prediction ng company sa pag-hire ng candidate. At may dalawang klase ito, which is the false positive and the false negative. Sa false positive, ito yung applicants na inakala ng company na magiging successful kaya hinire sila. Pero in the end, nag-fail sila. Halimbawa is, may isang teacher ang nag-apply, kinuha nila ito kasi mataas yung credential at graduate sa isang kilalang school. Pero nung nagturo na, hindi pala marunong mag-manage ng klase at boring mag-discuss. Sa false negative naman, ito yung mga applicants na na-predict na mag-fail kaya hindi sila hinire. Pero kung mabibigyan sila ng chance, baka naging successful sila. Halimbawa nito is yung isang applicant ng graphic design ang hindi nakapasok kasi yung ipinasa niyang initial portfolio sa screening is simple lang. Pero kung natanggap sana siya, malalaman sana nila na sobrang bilis pala at creative pala gumawa ng design kapag may guidance yung applicant. Reliability means consistency. Ibig sabihin, isang selection tool ay reliable kung nagbibigay ito ng stable at consistent results over time at hindi basta naapektuhan ng random errors. Halimbawa, kung may personality test ang isang company at every time na ulitin ng applicant yung test, pare-pareho pa rin yung result. Ibig sabihin, reliable yung test. Pero kung iba-iba ang lumalabas na scores kada take, unreliable siya. So, sa validity naman, it means na yung selection tool ay talagang nagme-measure kung ano ang dapat niyang i-measure at kaya niyang i-predict yung job performance. Halimbawa nito is yung kung gagamit ang company ng typing test para sa data entry clerks, valid ito kasi directly related ang typing speed sa trabaho. Pero kung general IQ test ang gagamitin para sa same job, pwedeng reliable siya kung consistent yung result. Pero hindi valid kasi mataas ang IQ doesn't always mean mabilis at accurate sa pagtatype. Tandaan na pwede maging reliable ang isang test pero hindi valid pa rin. Related validity ay tumutukoy sa kung gaano ka-epektibo ang isang selection technique sa pag-predict ng actual job performance. Ibig sabihin, kung mataas ang score ng applicant sa test, malaki rin dapat ang chance na magiging magaling siya sa trabaho. Halimbawa nito is yung call center agent. Gumagamit ang company ng language proficiency test. Ito yung mga applicants na kung sino yung may mataas na scores, ay sila rin yung magaling sa actual calls at mataas yung customer satisfactions.
Training and development. Training are essential processes in human resource management that focuses on enhancing the knowledge, skills, and abilities of employees. Training typically addresses job-related skills. So, you will undergo training if you are a pilot, if you are a chef. So, makakapisado mo and mapapamiliarize mo yung job na yun, specifically enhancing your knowledge and skills sa specific job na yun. At ang development naman is development prepares employees for future roles and responsibilities. So at the same time, while you are training, nagde-develop ka ng more skills, more understanding, and more advanced decision making sa job mo. So both are crucial in improving individual performance, organizational productivity, and long-term growth. So next is types of training. So first is work-based program. This is tie training and development activities direct to performance of tasks. This integrates job training and development activities with actual job performance, ensures that learning directly improves task execution, encourages employees to apply training outcomes immediately. And next is apprenticeships. So apprenticeships this involves a combination of on-the-job training and classroom instruction. So combines classroom instruction with on-the-job training, and this usually usually is long-term and structured, often used in technical or trade professions. Examples: apprentices in carpentry, welding, or healthcare. So next is on-the-job training. On-the-job training is this involves having employees learn the job while they are actually performing it. Employees learn while actually performing in their jobs and provides hands-on experience and immediate application of skills. And example is a new cashier is being trained directly at the counter. So next is vestibule training. So vestibule training is this involves a work simulation situation in which the job is performed under a condition that closely stimulates the real work environment. So dito ini-integrate yung training and development activities with the actual job itself. So this ensures learning directly, improves task execution, encourages employees to apply training outcomes immediately. So next is management development. Management development is a process that prepares employees to take on managerial roles within an organization. Its main purpose is to equip individuals with the necessary skills in leadership, decision-making, and supervision so they can effectively handle future responsibilities. Unlike technical training that focuses on specific job skills, management development provides a broader scope of learning aimed at enhancing one's ability to lead people and manage processes.
So, sa organizational development naman when I say organizational development is a system-wide effort managed from the top of the organization to increase the organization's overall performance through planned interventions. So, sa organizational development, there are different techniques which are the survey feedback, third-party peacemaking, and process consultation. Sa survey feedback, employees respond to questionnaires about the attitudes and perceptions of leader styles. Include dito yung managers and supervisor. Purpose ng survey feedback ay to para ma-change yung behavior ng managers and supervisors, and by making them aware sa kung paano nila tatuhin yung kanilang mga employees sa workplace. So sa third party peacemaking naman is to solve specific problems such as interpersonal conflict. So sa process consultation naman is to develop an understanding of their communications patterns and decision makings and leadership process and methods of cooperation and conflict resolution.